A lot of news about El Nino this year. Some of it's hype, but some of it could be serious. And climate scientists say instead of only looking at past years, we should be looking at the bigger picture.
Our chief meteorologist, Paul Diano, joins us with more on all of this. Paul.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of social media, you've probably seen the reports over the past couple weeks. Super El Nino, mega El Nino. There's a lot of superlatives put out there. Experts say that a strong El Nino is still one of the most important signals we have for what type of winter weather we might see that following year. But the impacts might start sooner than that. I am joined live by Dr. Daniel Swain. He's a climate scientist with the California Institute of Water Resources. Dr. Swain, thank you for joining us. And let's get right into it. An El Nino is likely to start as soon as the summer. It's likely to be a very strong one. How good of a leading indicator is that for our weather here in Southern California?
Well, thanks for having me today. And you're right that right now we have some striking signals in the ocean and in our predictive models of the ocean that point toward a pretty rapid development, potentially toward warm conditions, unusually warm conditions in the eastern tropical Pacific Ocean. That is what El Nino is. And right now, some of the predictive models are suggesting the potential for quite a strong event as well. And as you mentioned, it's not just a question of El Nino or no El Nino event at all, but it is also a question of how strong it is. And it is in particular the elevated likelihood of a strong event this year that is really raising some meteorological eyebrows.
Okay, Dr. Swain, we talk a lot about winter impacts. That gets a lot of the press here, but some things may begin to change or be impactful here in Southern California as soon as this summer. What do you see happening maybe as soon as June, July, August right here in SoCal?
Yes, that's right. You know, we already have quite a severe marine heat wave unfolding in the Pacific Ocean right up to the California coast. In fact, water temperatures in some parts of Southern California are the warmest they've ever been for this time of year in mid-April. And because El Nino hasn't developed yet, this isn't actually directly related to El Nino, although it could still be a precursor of it. So regardless of how El Nino develops, it looks like this marine heat wave is going to stick around through the spring, into the summer, and probably beyond, into the fall as well. So unusually warm water temperatures probably here to stay. That's certainly going to increase the mugginess factor along the coast. You may already be noticing that right now, keeping those nighttime temperatures elevated, making for a less chilly marine layer, so maybe less May, gray, June gloom stratus along the coast. But it could also up the odds potentially later in the summer, thinking August, September, early fall as well, of some unusual out-of-season precipitation. If a tropical storm is able to form in the East Pacific and sling some of its remnant moisture the way of Southern California, it's not extremely likely, but warm conditions like this in the ocean do somewhat increase the odds of seeing something like that later in the summer or in the fall.
Okay, so increased humidity, less May gray or less likelihood, and possibly some tropical moisture a la 2023, like what we had here. Now, El Nino has had a history of really wet winters. It's more likely than not, but you and I both remember back in the mid-2010s, I was up in San Francisco working at CBS at the time. That was kind of a bust for rainfall. This is not a guarantee, right?
Yeah, that's right. El Nino is certainly doesn't bring a guarantee of anything other than warm temperatures in the tropical Pacific. But what it does do is tilt the odds, especially if it's a strong one, as this one might be. It does tilt the odds in favor of wetter conditions, specifically in Southern California and some parts of the Southwest. So the farther south you go in California, the better the odds that it actually exerts a meaningful signal. Still isn't the be-all and end-all. Other things are still important, doesn't guarantee anything. But if we do see a strong El Nino event, or especially a very strong one by autumn or early winter, it will raise the odds of perhaps a wetter than average winter next winter. And that could be good news in some parts of the interior Southwest that are currently experiencing severe drought in the Colorado Basin.
Absolutely. Water is going to be more and more important as time goes on. Anything else out there that you see playing? I mean, we obviously know the climate is getting more extreme. That is obvious every day. This is just one thing that plays into that. As you mentioned, the ocean's running super warm. Are we seeing some of those impacts already? Take El Nino out of it. What are we seeing in Southern California right now?
Well, right now, the nearshore coastal temperatures, so in the LA metro and a lot of the places where most of the people in Southern California live, are warmer than they would be otherwise for this time of year already because of how warm the ocean is. It's a little muggier, and we're probably also seeing a little bit of enhancement of those April showers that do occur. In fact, we've been seeing that for a lot of the winter, where some of these winter-like systems that come in, these low-pressure systems, have a bit more moisture to work with because of the warm water, and are maybe a little bit more able to develop these tall cumulus clouds or thunderstorms because there's a little bit extra atmospheric instability contributed by those warmer oceans. So it's been acting to juice up, if you will, those winter-like storm systems a bit, I think, for much of the season already.
It certainly seems that way. Dr. Swain, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate your expertise on El Nino. And if you're not following him on social media, go do it right now. It's at Weather West. His blogs have been a great resource for more than a decade. Thanks for your time, Dr. Swain. Appreciate it.
Thanks again.